welcome to another season of KAIST ONE 2016. Well, we're going to start with Uzbekistan this time, and we still have other 3 events to be planned. I would like to tell you that this KAIST ONE is a little bit special compared to the previous one. As you guys, most of you guys know, KAIST ONE started in 2009 and it's been 7 years already. And then you should know it's been a while since we didn't have four country representatives from 4 different continents, and the 4 of them are going to do it for the first time. So we're going to start with Uzbekistan today. As you guys know, Uzbekistan is in Asia, right? Yeah, we also have Canada planned on April the 7th, and also we're going to have Canada is in America, and then we have Ethiopia after the midterm, which is going to be May the 19th, and also finally we're going to conclude with Finland from Europe. Yeah, the Finnish people are at the back. Just give them a clap. Yeah. All right. Yeah, so before I start, I would like to thank a lot of people, of course. First of all, I would like to start with the Uzbek community for spending a lot of time to make this event happen and make it a success. Please give them a round, big applause. I would like also to thank the respective embassy, from the Embassy of Uzbekistan, for providing us some souvenirs and some decoration material for us to make this hall a little bit special. Well, they're not here among us, but still, I'd like to thank them. Finally, I would like to dedicate special thanks to ISSS, and in particular, its team leader, Mr. Jungle Lee, for sponsoring our events and for supporting all the international community in particular. Please give them a warm, big applause. Before I start, I would like to invite Mr. Jungle Lee for giving a brief introductory remarks. Please welcome him.
Hello everyone, my name is Jungle Lee, as Ahmed introduced, Manager of International Scholar and Student Services. Welcome to the new season of KAIST ONE. As you know, ISSS, International Scholars and Student Services team, is here to support the international community. As some of you may know, we started several programs other than KAIST ONE. It's being very successful. That is called country-based community support. Selected community will be supported. We have selected a number of communities this semester. Will be supported for their activities, reinforcing their network with their colleagues and alumni. So if you are interested, keep that in mind and apply for it next time around. And another thing, as you may know, we are supporting student clubs as well. There is a program called Certified Clubs Certified by International Office. A number of clubs have been certified. They pledge themselves to provide their programs in English and promise to recruit international students to their club activities. So keep your eyes open to those clubs and encourage them to participate in this program. So there will be more chances for the international students to participate in the student activities. Again, it's the beginning of the semester. I know you guys are quite busy with your assignments and tasks and labs, but you know, you guys are students. You know, the years of a student is short compared to your life. So enjoy what KAIST can offer to you, and enjoy the youth. Thank you.
Before they start, I still have few remarks to say. As most of you guys know, this is my last semester. So from now on, there will be Usama who is going to take care of KAIST ONE managing all in all. So yeah, please say hi. Also, just for the heads up, by the end of the presentation, all of us will be leaving from this door. So yeah, sitting at the front will give you, how can I say, privileged access at the end. And then finally, we do not have a problem with you guys going for the second serve, but please use the same spoon, not the same spoon and plates, so that, because we have a limited number, and then yeah. if you're gonna go for the second serve, please use the same one. Yeah, thank you. All right, let's start.
Good evening, everyone. Dear professors, friends, thank you for coming and sharing this amazing evening for us in this so special day. Actually, 3 days ago, we held our national holiday, Nowruz, and especially in that day, we are gathering all together and have such kind of meeting. So I'm really glad to see all of you here. Today, KAIST KAIST ONE, we are presenting our country, Uzbekistan, the pearl of Central Asia. Let me begin. First of all, I would like to greet all of you in our language. So, Salam alaikum, everyone. It would be better to start from our country profile to give some quick information about the country. So we are a republic, Uzbekistan. We are located in Central Asia. Our area 448 square kilometers, and with capital in Tashkent. Population around 31 million, and the major languages is Uzbek, Russian, and Tajik. So as I told you, our location is in Central Asia, and we have 6 neighbors and 5: Kazakhstan, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan, Kyrgyzstan, and Afghanistan. How you can see our map, we are right in the center of the picture, Uzbekistan. And here you can see the Uzbekistan in the world map. Here are our symbols. So in the left you can see our flag, national flag of Republic of Uzbekistan, and on the right you can see state emblem of Republic of Uzbekistan. Let me introduce give some more detailed information about the flag. So flag means, begins from top, so blue indicates the sky, then comes white, indicates the purity of our minds and our pure nature. And then comes red, green. Green color is our nature. And red lines indicates the blood in our veins. So it comes to the emblem. I can see that you can see in front in the center we have puma. Puma is a bird, indicates some great and honesty. Let me take you in a brief history of Uzbekistan. As I told you, location in the heart of Central Asia between the Amudarya and Sirdarya rivers. The leading cities was in period of Great Silk Road. The leading cities were Samarkand, Bukhara, and Khiva. It was like a regional hub to exchange not only the goods but culture also. Many people were there, stopped, and one of the great persons is Alexander the Great. Stopped there, and as you can see in the year. Its territory was overrun by Genghis Khan and his Mongols in And then it becomes the empire of Timur, our father of our nation. And also, he is also known in the West as Tamerlan. He built his empire with capital in Samarkand. In 1876, the Russian divorced the Khanate and Kakand, while allowing the Khanates and Khiva and Bukhara to remain in direct protectorates. With the Russian placed that rest in Central Asia under their administration and invested the development of Central Asia infrastructure, promoting cotton growing and encouraging settlement by Russian people. In 1924, following the establishment of Soviet power, the Soviet Socialist Republic of Uzbekistan was founded from the territories of Kaghanat of Bukhara and Khiva, and portion of the Fergana Valley. In 1991, we got our independence. In this part, let me take you far away from ancient times and describe some part of our history and outstanding leaders of our past. As I told you, our empire was the territory of empire of Tamerlan was really great and with Silk Road on it. So how we can see, Silk Road takes its start from China and goes to Europe. First of all, I would like to introduce you the outstanding person whose name Al-Khwarizmi. If you are noticed that part of al in algebra and algorithm all comes from there. So this person was that one who made that things come to true. So he was a mathematician, astronomer, and he was scientific. And his birthplace was Khorasan region. Next person was Al-Farghani, also known as Al-Faganus in the West, the Persian Sunni Muslim astronomer and one of the most famous astronomers in 9th century. The creator Al-Faganus and the moon named after him. And the next outstanding person was Al-Biruni. He wrote catalogs, and his measures was really wide. So he was master in mathematics, astronomy, physics, and many natural science as well. And one of the most outstanding person was Avicenna, and also known in the Asia as Ibn Sina. He was the main scope of his research, his works, was medicine. His outstanding, most famous work, the Book of the Healing, and Philosophic and Scientific Encyclopedia, and the Canon of Medicine. Canon of Medicine was reprinted in New York the last century. Next person is maybe most outstanding, and he famous with his rubais. So he was poet, and he invented his own style to write the poems, and named it after like this. So actually, rubai in Arabic languages means quarter. In terms of the most greatest person who established our nation was the Tamerlan or Timurlan, or also Amir Timur. He has this name because of Tamerlan is a name for Western person. When he went to the West, he named himself like Tamerlan, and in our Central Asia, he known as Amir Timur, and Timurlan is a more for Asia, like China. He was a Turco-Mongol conqueror and the founder of the Timur Empire in Persia in Central Asia. So how we can see from these pictures, from on the left, the picture of a map with the territory of the Empire of the Tamerlan, and as you can see from the right, the current territory of Uzbekistan. Next person is Ulugh Beg. Ulugh Beg was a grandson of Tamerlan. His outstanding works in astronomy and contribution to science during his period was really great, and he built up many buildings, especially buildings which were built for astronomy reasons, so observatories. Al-Shir Nawai, he was a poet, writer, and linguist. His outstanding words like Nawai's divans. So, as you can see, a wonderful childhood, rarity of youth, marvels of middle age, and benefits of old age. So, Let's turn to cuisine, the most interesting thing nowadays, I think, for everyone. No, you cannot find a person who don't like this. As you know, the Central Asia is rich with his history and its ability to and willing to have a guest. So we are also welcome to have any guest. We are really pleasant with. That's why we have some tradition. Everyone who come to our house, they will be treated like a king. Here is a list of the most common foods in Uzbekistan. Now I'm going to take you and explain each of these. Sumalak is a traditional cuisine food which we cook especially for Navruz, 21st day of March. It is cooked from the wheat and soaked and prepared for days, and so their entire process takes up to a week. This is how it looks like. It's really delicious, sweet, and actually it looks like chocolate, but it's not. There is no any beans of cacao in it. Samsa. Samsa is the most famous food, it's like, actually it looks like fast food, but it's really healthy, and I cannot say that this is a fast food. So, next cuisine is norin. Norin made of horse meat and raw. Honem. So in case of honem, it looks like mantu or mantu in Korea. So it's rolled into the dough with potato, meat, and other species. And mantu. We also have mantu. So it looks like the similar and actually the same. Actually. And this is hasib. Maybe it looks like some awkward, but it's really delicious and healthy, because this food is especially good for those who are feeling not well. It makes to get well faster. This is a mastava kind of soup. We can see the ingredients of the mastava listed here. It's I can say this is like a barbecue, but it's not actually like that one, because we cook it in the pot. So in terms of shashlik, it's really the simplest one, because this only needs the preparation. That's prepare meat, cut it, and like make it in like barbecue. Yes, as I told you, this is a samsa. Samsa is cooked in a special clay oven in this way. And how we can see on the right, this is the final look of that cuisine. And I think the most famous food in Uzbekistan is osh, also known as pilaf. Usually with osh, we eat such kind of salads. It's really simplest one, tomato, cucumber, onion, and other spices. Let me introduce my friend, Jumanazar.
So, good evening, everyone. So, my name is Said Jumanazar. I'm graduated at ITTP KAIST. And now let me introduce you the culture of Uzbekistan in brief, of course. So the most important thing in the culture of Uzbekistan is their uh, aptitude towards those guests. What's wrong with this? If you ever if you ever visit Uzbekistan or a family of Uzbekistan, you will be honored and been placed in the right corner of the table. And we say that a guest is as honorable as your father. And let's when it comes to customs and traditions, like the first one is Beşik Toyu. You see the cradle, right? This is the first time a baby is put in the cradle, and it has a very long history, actually. And the next one is Khatna Toyu. It's kind of wedding for a young boy, and it's mostly related to the religious ceremonies because it came from Islam religion, and it's very important because every boy who is at their third, fifth, seventh, or ninth years, they should have this ceremony. And next one, Nahorge Osh. It's kind of morning club that's served in the morning of the Khatna Toyu that we saw before this slide. And next one, Fatha Toyu. This is engagement, like wedding. This ceremony is also very historic one, and as you can see from this picture, there are old people who are grandfathers maybe of the bride and groom, and how can I say? They are reading Quran within the ceremony, and it's very important because it's a religious event also, and it's been given from the Prophet, Muhammad, and it's held within 2 days. The first day is held at the house of the bride, and the second one is held at the house of groom. And that day, the bride stays in her new home. Mahalla, it is a family community. Like they say, one child has seven neighborhoods, meaning 7 neighborhoods take care of one child within that neighborhoods. This is very common to Uzbekistan, and there are a lot of how can I say? A lot of traditions and customs relating to this term. Clothes. The most famous clothes of Uzbekistan is its adras. You know, right? It comes from the silk that's carried between the Silk Road in the ancient times. And on the right, above upper side, it's called doppe that we put onto our heads. On the left side, it's called chopan. It's called chopan, and it can be a very special gift for honorable people. And mostly worn in the olden times, and mostly in ceremonies like wedding and others. And in the right side down, this is also called dobba, but it's for women. Let me take you to holidays and festivals of Uzbekistan. You remember this date, right? March 21st. So it was one of the four most important ceremonies. It's called Nowruz. It also comes from the ancient times, and its meaning new day, and it's the beginning of the new year in our country. And at the day 21st of March, the length of day and night is equal, 12 hours each. And at this date, mostly all the families prepare some kind of special dishes like sumalak, the very important one, which is made of wheat and some other species, and halam, as you saw in the previous slides, and samsa that you can taste today maybe, and pilaf. The next one is Day of Defenders of the Native Land. It's very important because Uzbekistan, as you know, gained its independence in 1991, 1st of September, and that next year, 1992, the armed forces of the Uzbekistan, the Republic of Uzbekistan, was formed. So at this date, as you can see, at this date every year, our nation celebrates this in honor to the defenders of our land. Women's Day. It is March 8th. This ceremony is, this holiday is celebrated in honor of women and all the females in our nation. It's a holiday of love, kindness, and beauty, and it's also referred to as Mother's Day, not just the Women's Day. And next one, Day of Memory and Honor, May 9th. You know, Uzbekistan was part of the Soviet Union in the past, and many of our people went to the war. And you know, the Second World War was ended in 1945, and at the time this date was selected as the end of the war. So in the post-Soviet Union countries, this date is celebrated as the Day of Memory and Honor, Day of Independence. This date, Uzbekistan gained its independence. Actually, it was the 31st of August, but as the day of celebration, it is September 1st. Day of Teachers and Educators. So this is October 1st. At this date, most pupils went to school and congratulate their teachers and show honor to them. The Constitution Day. At 1992, December 8th, the Constitution of the Republic of Uzbekistan was accepted, and this day is day off, as well as all other days, holidays. And there are two religious holidays. One is Ramadan Eid, and it's also known as Ruza Eid. It lasts 30 days every year. And the other one is Kurban Eid. This is also a religious holiday. let me introduce you some places of interest in Uzbekistan. The first one is Khiva. As you can see, it comes from the ancient times. It has some 2,500 years history, and this Hans Palace, actually the picture, you can see it. It was built in early 17th century, and it's still living there. And they say it's the living museum under the open air. And it's also a UNESCO World Heritage Site from 2001. Then its main interesting place sightseeing is Ichankala, and there are a lot of other monuments, madrasas, mosques, and others. Next one is Bukhara. You know, like Hiva, it is also UNESCO World Heritage Site, and these Hiva, Bukhara, and Samarkand, you know, they are historically important places because there were the Great Silk Road that went through these cities. And Bukhara is situated in the northern part of Uzbekistan as Hiva, next to Hiva, and it has more than 2,000 years old history. It is rich for, as I said, architectural buildings and complexes that are coming from the 10th and 17th centuries. Samarkand, the other one, Samarkand is called a crossroad of cultures because there are a lot of cultures and different kinds of nations like Uzbeks, Tajiks, Kyrgyz, Kazakhs also, and Korean, ethnic Korean people also, a lot of them. So it's called a crossroad of cultures. These buildings are very important places of Samarkand. The center, Rajasthan. This is the place where a great festival is held everywhere. It's called Sharq Taranalare. That's Voice of the East, if you know, maybe. And on the right, you can see our great figure, Amir Timur, as my colleague introduced it before. And major interesting sites are Ulugh Observatory, you may know this. It's and then Shahzinda, then Gurimur, where the remains of Amir Timur is held, and Bibi Hanum Mosque. This mosque was built for the honor of this Amir Timur's wife. Like you may know Taj Mahal, right? Taj Mahal was built by Shah Jahan for the honor of her wife, right? Like this. Then Shahrazad. This is the birthplace of Amir Timur, and it's also UNESCO World Heritage Site. Contains a lot of exceptional monuments and architectural structures that are coming from the Timurid period, like 14th and 15th century. Baysun. It is a magical place in Uzbekistan. It is situated in the Surkhandara region, the southern part of Uzbekistan, and there is a special place which is called Cave the Teshiktash, where remains of the Neanderthal people were found. That is Cave Teshiktash. And it also contains a lot of mural paintings of magical ball hunting of the Mesolithic era in its Kohitang Mountains. Termiz, this is the another place next to Baysun. It is also situated in the Surkhandara region, the southern part. It also has a lot of rich historical places. One of them, mausoleum of Hakim al-Tirmizi. This figure is very important for our nation, Hakim al-Tirmizi. He was one of those philosophers of the Middle Ages, who collected a lot of hadiths. It deals with Islamic how can I say, hadiths. It's called hadiths, writings, Islamic writings about Quran and other stuff. And Sultan saw that this is a set of complexes that are coming from those ages. And then Fortress Kirk. This is a 40 girls palace. It has a legend about this place because there used to be 40 women, brave women, those who fought against the enemies in this place at Termiz. And then Kokan. This is one of the 3 places that had Khanate in the history of Uzbekistan. On the right upper side you can see Khudayar Khan Palace. This is the palace of the Khan, Kokan Khan, and it's still there. So there are a lot of mosques, madrasas that had a very important role in the development of our nation. And Tashkent, this is the center of capital of Uzbekistan. Tashkent is maybe one of the most beautiful places of Uzbekistan, because it's the center, capital. On the left upper side you can see the TV tower, which is 375 meters height, and a memorial place for the people, those who died in the World War II. And down museum of the Timurids, the people, Timur and his dynasty. On the upper center side, we can see the Independence Place, Independence Park. And on the right, the sculpture for great person Amir Timur. And on the right and downside, you can see the nighttime of Uzbekistan, Tashkent city. It is very busy. The roads are all the time. You can see traffic jams, and it is very beautiful. Now, nature. Uzbekistan has 4 different seasons, and there are a lot of places, like for example, almost half of the territory of Uzbekistan contains Kizil Kum, which is desert, and there are mountainous places. There are 2 rivers, Amudarya, Sirdarya, and those stuff. Now, I'm gonna tell you about National Army of Uzbekistan. The name of the National Army of Uzbekistan is called Armed Forces of the Republic of Uzbekistan. It consists of ground forces, air forces and air defense forces, National Guard and Frontier Service, and it is considered as the largest army in the Central Asia. And as for Global Firefox Index 2014, it was ranked as 48th out of 106 member countries and ranked 3rd among the post-Soviet or Commonwealth independent states countries. Now, about the language. It's called Uzbek. Uzbek is a Turkic language with about 16.5 million speakers in Uzbekistan. And they say there are more than 27 million people who speak Uzbek. And it's mainly spoken in the Central Asian, all the Central Asian countries. And even in China, in the Uyghur region. And an early form of Uzbek was called Chagatai. It's the name of one son of Genghis Khan. And previously, until 1927, in Uzbek language, we used Arabic scripts, Arabic letters. And after that, Latin was formed. Then, once Soviet Union was formed, we accepted Cyrillic, Soviet Union Cyrillic alphabet. Then after the independence, we again moved to Latin. Now we use both Cyrillic and Latin alphabet. So let's look at the alphabet. There are 29 letters, and let's have some lesson. Like hello in Uzbek is called Assalamu alaikum. Be careful, there are quizzes about this, maybe. And when you want to say, my name is Juma Nazar, you should use meaning ismim, Juma Nazar. It's very simple. And what is your name? When you want to ask, what is your name? You say, ismingiz nima. And when you want to say, I'm glad to meet you, or it's nice to meet you, you say, tanishgandan xursandman. And the another important word is thank you, which is rahmat. Rahmat. Yeah. Then let me give the speech to my colleague, Javalan Bek. So he will continue sports in Uzbekistan. Thank you.
First of all, I want to say good evening. So I'm just kidding. So I want to talk from now on about the sport, because you can see the history, that how the kind of wars happened in our territory in the history. And Alexander Macedonia came, the Arabs and Turkish people and the Mongolian. After that, Uzbekistan formed. So our president also mentioned that the best way to let others know about Uzbekistan, about our country, is the sport. So that's why I want to talk about, first of all, about the sport. So the Uzbek national sport is kurash. You might have heard about the kurash. So the meaning of the word is kurash is Uzbek word. It means the reaching the goal with the just or even fair way. The kurash is one of the ancient type of upright jacket grabbing. So it's one of the ancient oldest martial art that people have ever practiced. So even it was introduced to the international sport in 1998, and in 2008 it was introduced as an Olympic game. So the history. I will talk briefly about the history about the kurash. So almost 2,500 years ago, the Herodot also mentioned about the kurash, which is a common sport in the Uzbekistan area nowadays. So after that, also the Alkomash, the historical legendary epos, created kurash. and Avicenna is also in the world known. Avicenna Abu Ali ibn Suno talked about the courage that is one of the best way to keep the healthy of body and the spirit. It's like also kind of taekwondo in Korea. Taekwondo also not only the keep the body straight, strength, and also the keep this healthy spirit. Also, in the 14th century, Amur Timur, you probably have heard about Amur Timur. So Amur Timur also used the courage in his army to train them. So there was in 1998 there was established the International Courage Association, and there also nowadays there are more than 100 countries become official members of IKA. So there's 5 unions, confederations in the every continents like Pan America, European, in Asia, Africa, and Oceania. So there's main rules. There are rules that in the courage there's prohibited to fight wrestling on the floor. There's also prohibited arm locking, choking, kicking, as well as the grabbing below the belt, which makes the courage is a simple, friendly, interesting, and dynamic, safe sport. There's a main uniform for courage. Jacket is usually the 2 colors, blue or green, and the trousers, pants are white. And there's usually a red belt. So there are also the most popular football is one of the most popular sport type in Uzbekistan. So there's some rankings that in Asia this is nowadays the 7th, and in the world the 74th place is also it's not so good results. So there are some most famous footballers like Severo Jeparov, Morzhala Kasimov, Maxim Shatskih, and Adil Akhmedov. There are also the other types of sports like boxing, wrestling, samba, judo, taekwondo, tennis, and so on. So I would love to briefly talk about the automobile industry in Uzbekistan. That was established in 1992 with the cooperation with Uzdevo, with South Korea. And from the 96 there was started to produce the cars. And it was kind of renamed from 2008 because there was a GM, General Motors, acquired the Devo company. So there's some cars nowadays is producing in our country. There are also there's a joint venture with German company MAN. It's mainly that they produce trucks, and recently they started to produce the public buses also. So there are also with the Turkish company Koç Holding. There's the main purpose of the establishing this kind of joint venture is produce the medium capacity buses and the trucks. So transportation, if you wanna go to Uzbekistan, you can use transportation system. So the first one is you need to take the most comfortable one is plane. There's 6 international airports and 10 local. You can also take train. It's also international, but it's only the local neighbor countries. But you cannot go to Uzbekistan by train, by the way. So you can use the intercity public transportation like planes, a local airplane, and there's also express trains, and also the buses, intercity buses, and the minivans and taxi. And the inner city transportation is only in Tashkent there is a subway and the buses. Even there is a Tashkent city tour bus, trams and vans, also taxi. And, there's natural resources is mainly natural gas, gold, cotton, and uranium, and so on. There's a kind of, I'm talking about the good things about Uzbekistan, but also there's a issue. It's the RLC issue is a global environmental issue, which is the RLC is one of the four largest. It used to be one of the four largest lakes in the world. So it was started to shrink from the 1960s. So you can see the pictures. It's actually not the 60s, it's the 77. Nowadays there is one part, the eastern part of the Aral Sea, called like Aral Kum Desert. Aral Kum means Aral, Kum is a sand. So by the way, it's why the lake and it calls like Aral Sea. Actually it was used to be really big. That's why it's a lake called like a sea. So, I will talk to you about Uzbeks today. There's in the professional tennis player Iroda Tuleganova. He can finish his career in 2010. Her highest results was the 16th in 2002, and in single, and 2002 she ranked as 28th in the doubles. And there's also former WBO lightweight champion Artur Grigorian. He was also he fought 38 fights and 37 won and only one loss. There was 22 knockouts. So, excuse me, I tried to really fast, but because of the time limitation,
I'm sorry to disturb you. I didn't mean. I guess you're hungry already, so let's just go to the performance. Ready? One second.
I will explain the rules. It's kim oladiyo, shuginanyo. It's if I translate by word, it's gonna be who is gonna take just this one. This one is a head. It's a duppa in Uzbek language. So, the thing is, the players should take the duppa, the head, without using head. With their mouse.
Let's just begin.
It's Uzbek national, the ancient game among the people they used to play. So if there anyone who wanna try, yeah. If anybody is gonna get that, there is also prize for that.
Anyone wants to try?
Anyone welcome to try this game?
Is there anybody who is better than Juman Azar?
Can I give this?
Yeah, that you're okay.
Let's join, guys.
I will again repeat the rules. There is a rules. There is competition among the people, the guys. They need to get the head without bending the knees and using the hand. No. There is saying Kimola Dio Shugina. There is a song, who is gonna get that, and one of them trying to get, and they say I will get that. Okay, I will just continue really briefly. There's a former WBA heavyweight champion also, Ruslan Chagayev. There's a wrestling in the Artur Taymazov is the four times he was the winner in 3 times consequently winner of Olympics. In 2004, 2002 he got it. 2000 he got the silver, and 2004 gold, 2008 gold, and 2012 gold. So also there is a judo master Abdullah Tagriyev. There's his performances that he got in Olympic Games, in championships, and there was twice in 2008 and 2011. There is a World Open Weight Championship, and he got in the last one. And still till now, here's the overweight open weight champion in world champion in judo. So there is also Roshan Irmatov. He was the best world referee in 2015, and he was previously in 2014 was the second, but eventually he got found as the best referee in the world. So there is also Rustam Kasimjanov is the AFTE world champion in chess. He succeeded his world chess champion and got as a world champion by FID champion in a title during the 2004 and 2005. So there's a
Dear professors, guests, I hope you enjoyed the brief history of our country. Today we prepared some meal. I would like to invite you all to taste our national traditional cuisine, and I hope you will like it. Enjoy it.